four stages of life. So, what is the duty of a brahmachari? What is the duty of a householder who are married? What is the duties of a retired person? What are the duties of monk? How the society should run? So these are very idealistic thing. And we happen to read today the mode of sannyasi's life, but we are there, so don't mind. Today we'll read about how the monks should be. That of course is good. You will have an idea of what is the traditional idea of monastic life and how they should live. But society has changed now. We live according to the context of the time. Earlier days, sadhus were having all uh, going into the forest, begging in the bowl. Even the traditional swamis are like that. But after Sri Ramakrishna's coming, the style has changed. Has been given this idea that it should be a part of the society to help the society, understand, have their own God realization, and also serve the whole humanity for Atma Mukti and for Jagat Hita. So those should be the ideal. Similarly, we have read that there are wonderful description how a householder should live together. Sound is শুনতে পাচ্ছ না?
I cannot hear Bangla.
Oh, what is happening?
Volume, more volume.
Volume. Okay. So, mood of sannyasi's life. So, Narada said, if he has been physically disabled by old age and disease and is incapable of following the sannyasi's way of life, the Vanaprasthas may starve himself to death. That was the idea. That fourth stage of life, 25 years of student life, 25 life year, household life, married life, and then another 25 years life, 75. They will be married, but they will be totally detached gradually from worldly duties, their responsibilities. Give their attention more in God. Now we call retired life, or modern retired life. So good people, they spend most of the time in Harikatha, listening to God, and more of bhajan, singing, and making holy company, like that. But in early days, when they are old, they will be a monk. But those who vanaprasthis means third stage of life, they will follow this way of sannyasi, and there will be, if their disease or a bodily, they don't go for so much hospital. Dispensary was not there probably, and also not no much focus on the body to contain it, maintain it much. Rather, let the body go. So they give up food and eating. So they call this starvation. Many people do that. Even I saw in this kind, my lifetime, many devotees. When they're in some fatal disease or something, I don't want any treatment. And they say, let me just peacefully die. Whatever. They take the name of the Lord and create an environment where bhajan, singing, kirtan will go on. And then fasting. When Dr. Nancy was here, he was diagnosed with cancer. And she was very strong physically, but suddenly cancer spread everywhere. She gave up food and drinks and thinking, and gradually felt that mother is there, divine mother is there. And she passed away very peacefully. And that is one way of leaving the body. But if he is physically and mentally fit, then he will go for a life of sannyasi's life, monastic life. He should, after resolving everything in the Atman, wander forth over the world without any special destination. Wandering monks, they have no destination. They will move from one place to another, bake their meals, hmm, where they will lie down, wherever. Sky thy roof. We have this roof. Monk's roof will be sky. uh, Huge roof. Sky thy roof. And bed. Why small bed? Grass thy bed. So whole world is free for you. So what an idea of freedom. So this they will go in the monastic life, hope they are strong physically and they can continue, but they will not stay in one place. They will move from one place to another and just live on begging. Begging means not pressurizing householders. The early days, even now, the system is that when we get sannyas, that tradition is maintained. We have to go to beg to houses. So you can go to 4 or 5 houses. You go to any house and say, "Oh, Namo Narayana Hari." You don't say, "Give me bhiksha, give me food." Narayana Hari. Sometimes they understand, they don't understand. So when you say Narayana Hari, means he is a monk, he wants some food. And what food? Not uncooked. You have to give some cooked food. And whatever, maybe one piece. They will not take much, so that it is you are not burdened. And he will go. This monk should go to five home, maximum. You need not know, "Oh, I didn't get it. Let us go whole day, door to door, and get food." No, no, that. But you should restrain. You have 5 house. Go, whatever come, and then take that and give it to your guru if his guru is there, and then offer it to Lord, and then take prasad. So very restricted life and very life of freedom. No responsibility for the whole world, only responsibility to live in divine consciousness. And that is, people may say, "Oh, that's selfish life." In one sense, we can think it is selfish, but no, they are the balance maker. So much nonsense goes on in the world. These people only, they are the balance, they make the balance, not burdening the society. Think of the good of the world. When you think of divine Satchidananda self, then you become pure and you radiate purity. Your thought vibrates in the heart of others. That's the blessings for. So they, in another sense, Swami Vivekananda said that a person, if he is thinking of holiness and love and God, they are the benefactor of the whole world because they are thought of pure thought for the good of humanity can touch, penetrate the rocks and mountains and travel all over the world. Distance is no issue there. Mind is mind. Mind is one mind. Vedanta teaches there is one mind. It is all interconnected. Your mind, my mind, and the mind of the entire universe. That's called the cosmic mind. See, and that is one mind. So if you can give a blow in one point, it will vibrate in the other areas. Good, bad. But monks should live for the thinking of the holy thoughts of others, good thoughts of others. He should carry, he should resolving everything in the Atman. His day and night should be concentrating that I am Atman, I am pure, I am birthless, I am deathless. That because he's taking the power of sannyas. It is actually sannyasis should, they say, day and night they should think that I am the pure self. I am not this body and mind, not limited in that. So he should, after resolving everything in the Atman, wander forth over the world without any special destination. That means people used to go India full of places of pilgrimage, one place to the other place to the other place, and visiting temple and talking to people of spirituality. And Ramakrishna, when he was small in Kamarpukur, he used to see that many sadhus, holy people, wandering monks used to come near that Kamarpukur in his birthplace. And they used to stay overnight. There are some night journey. So there is a halting place, inn. And then some hut is there. So sadhus will stay for one night and then go away. So Ramakrishna used to serve the sadhus so much. And they're bringing, when he was a small boy, he used to bring water for the sadhus, firewood from the collected from the local people and then give it to the sadhus. So they have no attachment. By moving from one place to another, we, if you stay little longer anywhere, you feel identified, attached, and then very difficult to detach again. So they should not get attached. That's why they move from one place to another. He should carry body alone with him. Body alone means not the whole suitcase full of, like as we travel, all my goodies and necessities, food, dry food, this, that, and then whenever I need, I open my box. I may not go to purchase, but I have enough stock in my my baggage. No baggage. What is the baggage? Body is the baggage. Um, but modern, some sadhus carry maybe little water pot, one stick. Stick, that is a religious background is there. There is a stick, Dondi sadhu. That's why it's called. There is one type of sadhus. They're called Dondi sadhus. Dando. Dando means stick. They hold the stick all the time. And that stick is given that, but we also got that Dando. But because you have to work after sannyas, then we offer it to Mother Ganga. So otherwise you have to stick, you have to hold on all the time. And Dando indicates three piece there on the Dando and top of the Dando. You'll find many sadhus have that stick. Satchidananda, that means you are carrying the stick, the identification that you are always Satchidananda Brahman, to be aware of that. So carry that. So you will have nothing more with you, because drinking water, maybe water pot, because water is very important. You travel from one place to another, you are likely to be stomach upset, diverse types of water to digest. So you carry some good water from some place and can carry and drink water. So water pot and danda. Danda commander. That's why it is called danda commander. Commander is the water pot and danda is the stick. He should carry the body alone with him. Stop in no village for more than a day. That was their style. So that you don't get identified or entangled into any place. And depend on no one for anything. We depend on our everything on someone or other. No? But sadhu will depend on God and God alone. And they even, what will happen if I fall sick? This question does not come in their mind. I was one time going through such experience. So, with my baggage, we are Ramakrishna Mission Sadhus. So I got some vacation. So I thought that I will go to a holy place and do austerities and big on arms and do that. We have many sadhus have that experience. So, and I went there. But when I went there with my one roll, minimum, a little one blanket and little, just to lie down somewhere. But that is a luxury for a monk. Then we are going, and then and the place I was there, that's a ashram. But it was a little crowded because it is many visitors come, devotees come. And so suddenly one sadhu came, wandering sadhu came. And I said, I want to go to some isolated place. Where is that? Then he said, Jaiye kahin bhi. Go wherever you like. Go wherever you like. Means, he's just coming from visiting some isolated place. I'm like, but I'll go there, but how shall I survive? Who will feed me? And then he got so much angry. You sadhu, you are thinking of food. Because we already habituated morning breakfast, lunch, supper, etc., etc. But anyway, that means they depend on God so much. And you just be wherever you are, in the jungle, in the road. The whole world is open. Isolated place. Himalayas are there. Go to the deep cave there. Go. So that means the whole world is open for them. And they're not bound by anyone's dictation and they don't have to depend on anybody. মানে যাহি বিধি রাখে রাম তাহি বিধি রহিয়ে. They are established in that spirit. Whatever God brings, okay. कभी मुट्ठी भर चाना, कभी घी घाना, कभी वही माना. They live in this idea where sumptuous food is offered to you. Okay, God has said, eat it. Mutti bhar chana. You got one morsel of grain, or how do you call, right? Say, chickpeas. And sometimes ovi mana. Sometimes you don't get it. Drink water. Bas, finish. Why do you depend on anybody? So this is the spirit of the monk. So he should carry body alone. Body alone means that no other suitcase or baggage. Thakur used to say, Ramakrishna used to say, if you find a sadhu always having bag and baggage and sadhu should be open. Sadhus, that's why they will not depend on anything. They have nothing to hide. They have nothing, all open. No? And they're wondering now what to open, where they will open anything. Ramakrishna's road, look at that. Ramakrishna's, that is his office. His room is his office. Morning onward, office starts. So people have started coming one by another. One goes, another comes. I don't know where he gets the time to take a shower and then do this. They will be sitting in the room. He will have to go to take a shower and come back. No, only one room, Dakshineshwar room. It was the place where he used to live. And whole Calcutta people, whole different people of different religion, so many sadhus are coming and going, and door is always open. Where is the privacy? We need privacy. But monks should not have ideal. Their lifestyle, of course, we should have some privacy. That's the modern age. But still, wandering monks have some. Mainly, idea is that they are dedicated to God. So much God dependence, they don't care for anything else. That is the sum and substance. If he is particular about wearing anything, he can have a kopinam, loincloth, and nothing more. That's why sadhus are all bare-bodied, only one cloth. Maybe someone is covering the lower part, someone covering on one part. That's enough. In our early days of Belmont used to have that. One cloth, cut it into two pieces. One make a lower cloth, another make a upper cloth. Because societies, people are coming, so we have become sophisticated now. Because we meet more people with work, our work situation and other things has changed. So you have to run a polytechnic, you are running a hospital, you are running a big school. You cannot sit with coke, and run the show. The society's need has changed and we are adapted to the needs. Main spirit of renunciation is there, but the external style has been changed. Except in times of danger, he shall not resume anything that he has abandoned on becoming a sannyasi. That's why they give up their hearth and home, and they don't go back to their home. And 12 years. That is the early tradition. The sadhu living the earthen home will not visit his parental home or anybody because there is a connection, old attachment. So finish. After 12 years, to touch the holy birthplace, you can go and not stay there more than 3 days. Like those restrictions were there because you have your landed property and after wandering for a few days, you feel that, oh, why this life? Let me go back. And then you go back again and demand your share of the property and money. And then, no such thing. Just you've given, get out of it. No touch, no connection. So, except in times of dangers, he shall not to resume anything that he has abandoned. He can have only sannyasin's emblems of a staff and water pot. He should move about alone, absorbed in Atman, depending on nothing external, friendly to all beings, and completely resigned to Lord Narayana, the support of all beings. So that should be the ideal monastic monk should be roaming around. He should view this world as subsisting in the Supreme Spirit, who is none the less uninvolved in the cause and effect relation and unaffected by any changes or transformation. The world will go on, so many things will happen. They don't get identified with it. They know that this is a society, life changes like that. God is alone, unchanging. So they keep their mind in God deeply and then they don't get identified with anything. In everything that is bound by cause and effect relation, one should see the self. And they try to see God in everything. Something good comes, they think, oh, it is God's grace. Something bad comes, it's God's teachings. So they take everything as boon from God. Holy Mother said, dukkha, suffering. We look at suffering, evil. We say, why so much evil? In the eyes of a Brahmajnani or the sannyasi, the cause is the same, only one cause. It's God's play going on. Good and bad, it happens. Everywhere this question nowadays more. If God is benevolent God, why he has created this trouble? Why is going on in the world so much of atrocities and that because it is not, it is a plan of creation, and creation means variety. Variety, good, bad, night. If there is night, there will be day. If there is light, there will be darkness. If there is happiness, there will be misery. If there is birth, it will have to die, death. But we only think birth will be there, good. Youth is good. But why old age? Old age is a consequence. It will have to accept it. Why do you accept the birth? If you don't accept birth, there is no death. But you are accepting the birth, good side of it. You take one side of the coin, I don't like the other side. No, it will not have. The creation means diversity. So they take that everything is God's will. But everything, cause is Brahman, cause is God. One should see the self, which is inseparable from Supreme Brahman. Between waking and sleep, there is a junction in which there is neither the unconscious dullness of sleep nor the form of taking tendency of the mind. There is every day we have a point when there is neither world, neither good, neither bad. Waking experience is now we are in the waking experience. Suppose one goes to sleep, waking experience to sleep experience. There is a junction point when you doze off, no? So that when that point there is no creation, no night, no day. There is a particular point. No awareness of this gross world, awakened world, or dream world. There is a junction point. That is the point, unaffected point. That is the beyond creation. There is no night, there is no darkness. There is a junction. That's switching one from the other. So if we can stand at that point, that is Vedantic way of meditation means and I'm not this and not this. That is the point where neither day remains, neither night remains, neither good remains, neither bad remains, and that is the point, Satchidananda point. And Vedantic yogic term, Patanjali says, it is the one wave and another wave, one thought, another thought. There is a point where there is no thought. Very, very fine point for us, but yogis can linger at that point and they can stay in the consciousness there. That is the Satchidananda point. One is ripple, another is ripple. So there is a point touching the axis point, one point when it cannot be said that is the waking state, it cannot be said it is the sleeping state. So there is a point, and that point is the point of peace beyond duality. Otherwise, every causation is the creation. So, a close observer of this pure self-awareness will realize the true self as also the apparency of both bondage and freedom. Bondage and freedom are apparent. For us, it is so real. But there is a point when no bondage, no suffering, no joy, no unhappiness. There is a point. But that point is so moves so fast, we don't perceive that. But yogis can just focus that point and it can extend. And then they prolong, they remain in that consciousness for a longer time. And that's called samadhi. Dhanam, samadhi. Meditation. There at that point, the world does not remain, suffering does not remain, joy does not remain, all collapse there. That's why chitta vritti nirodha. Patanjali says the vritti of the chitta always repel. Our vritti is jumping. In split second, so many hundreds and thousands of thoughts. But when one becomes spiritual, then what happens? One ripple and another ripple. There will be a point, no ripple point. So that is a close observer. Those who can observe this point everyone can observe this point in our life when there is a thought and where is no thought. And there is a particular point. Opposite of the two, there is a point of non-reaction point. And that is called the point of meditation point. When we focus for meditation, what we do? We don't want to think of that, we don't want to think of that, and we want to think of God. That is the first stage. But there will be a point. No thought of God, no thought of God. What will remain? That remains, that remains. That is called consciousness. So that is a pure self-awareness. They will realize the true self. And also they will understand this bondage and freedom are all apparent. He should not think of the death of this body, which is certain to come whether one thinks of it or not. Sannyasi, they will not think of the death of the body. Yeah? They can, because they live in the consciousness and they know that it is obvious. His body has been born, body will die. So he is unconcerned about that. Nor should he think of the continuance of the life. Also, I will live forever. No? That idea is also not in the mind of a monk. Neither he wants to preserve it, neither wants to throw away. As it flow. Body comes, body goes. Body grows, Sharabika. 6 changes happen in the body. Asli, Jayate, Viparinamati, Apakshayate, Mrityu, etc. Birth, the baby comes, grows, attains maturity, and then declines, and then jara, and then dies away. So 6 changes happen. But he does not, he thinks this is the nature of the body, it will do like that. I have no attachment for it or detachment. So just let it go. I am to focus on Satchidananda self, which is naturally this leader body which is impermanent. Let him be indifferent to both Let him think of time, capital time, which is supreme being himself in the process of bringing out and swallowing everything. Mahakala. That's why they call it, think of Shiva. The time comes in the cosmic consciousness. It comes, when the Ramakrishna said, that there is become a big noise. Dum. What is that? Ravana is born. And within a split second, another boom. What is that? Ravana is dead. In the eye of the Mahakala, great time, this our existence is coming, going, ripple, bubble. Who cares for all these things? Time remains eternal. In any infinite eternal time, that Shiva Janatan name is Mahakala. That in infinite time, creation comes, creation goes, world appears, world disappears. No, in the history, if we look at the history of thousands of years, how many kings came, how many good people, how many bad people, how many fight, how many slaughter, all came, all went. It becomes a history only. So these are coming and going. But what does not come and go? Sannyasi, monk should focus on that. A sannyasi should not interest himself with the study of subjects that are not concerned with spiritual realization. That means they will always engage in study of the scriptures, Upanishads, Gita, Bhagavatam, whatever they are doing. But no new philosophy has come up after Ramakrishna. Whatever you do for the good of others, that is purifying. That is as usual as mantra japa. You can repeat the holy mantra, but you can do selfless work with the spirit of service. That is equal. No, that's why Swami Vivekananda said, I have prepared a new path. The people used to know that God realization is possible only by meditation, by Vedantic analysis. But I have prepared a new path. My children working for God and dedicating their life for God, they will realize the truth. And they will be Brahmagyanis. And that's true. So many sadhus we can look at in our tradition. They have practiced that and they have become like that. So a sannyasi should not interest himself with the study of subjects. That also, as a monk, our objective should be to serve God in human being, not to indulge in worthless, useless, worldly talks. Rather, that's the new responsibility of a monk of the order, no? That you are to lead this monastic life, but at the same time for your self-realization. Atma Gyan. Should not interest himself in the study of the subjects that are not concerned with spiritual realization, nor should he take up any occupation merely for his livelihood. He should avoid sophistry and those who indulge in vain argumentation which serves no other purpose than logic chopping. Meaning, they are Pandits. Pandits are very happy with logical fight, argumentation. One dualistic philosophy fighting with a non-dualistic philosophy. Ramakrishna used to say, I don't like it. He used to leave those places. And Narada also, in Bhakta, for a Bhakta he has said, Bhado Navalambhya. Bhado means the intellectual argumentation should not be encouraged in monastic life, in devotee's life, because it is useless, worthless. If it gives you argument, leads you to your life to love God more, feel the presence of God more, that is meaningful. Only intellectually fighting what is true, Advaita Vedanta or qualified non-dualism or dualism or Sankhya, which is true, which is correct. It is useless wastage of time. Rather, they engage in the sadhana, spiritual practice. He should not strive to attract disciples and followers. The sannyasis, their in life should be engaged for this purpose, not to attract making big followers. Big followers means those who fans. He should attract sincere people who like to lead a pure life of self-realization, pure life of peace. So sannyasis should lead a life like that, and they make their disciples train in that direction. Ramakrishna trained his disciples in that direction so that they became a solace to the world. Christ came, Christ's disciples, they are trained to lead in the monastic tradition. They are all monks, no? All the disciples of Christ, no? How they live like wandering monks. Like Christ was a monk himself. Yeah, he has no particular home for himself. He is only doing good to others and serving God. He should not strive to attract disciples or followers. Studying many books is not for him. Uh, Not many books are necessary. Ramakrishna did not read so many books. Not even one or two books he used to keep in his room. And then someone used to come, he used to ask, read this. Other they will talk, mundane talks, and read that book. So I have seen many sadhus. And the many sadhus, people go to them and then within 5 minutes talk about their own mundane talks. Then he will say, read this gospel. Swami Shantananda Maharaj, he used to, no opportunity, you cannot talk anything, just you go anytime, gospel is there, open the gospel and read aloud. That is the, what advice you want more? If Ramakrishna could not give the solution of your life's problem, so I will give you the right, solve the right problem. So one, Swami Shankarananda Maharaj, he was also like following this principle. So as we meet any sadhu, of course, we should ask for spiritual questions and things. So one devotee came and he was sitting in one place. They said, Maharaj, please tell me something about God. Then Maharaj says, you go and read the gospel. He said, Maharaj, I have read it. That's why if gospel cannot solve your problem, my words will not do any good to you. Gospel cannot give you solution of your life's problem and solve the question. So my words, what value it will have? So meaning that not talk mundane talks. It is good always it's called. That's why Bhagavatam also says, Gita also says, Pariprasneno, Pranipateno, Pariprasneno, and Sevaya. So serve Guru to get this message, to get the juice out of his spiritual life by pariprasna, questioning. But question people do for question's sake. Sometimes questions will be only to show how much that questioner knows about, rather it is an explanation for more than the subject. That show, that is not the question. Question is for knowing, my doubts to be clear. If my doubts are gone, then I can understand it better. He should not go about by giving discourses merely for gaining popularity. That's also, see, what are the duties of a monastics? Monastics should go to give talk, but not to say, hey, I gave a wonderful talk. No, today I bombarded. That is not your spirit. Rather, I got a chance today to clarify my mind. I thought out loud. Our attitude of Ramakrishna mission sadhu should be, and that is, I have thought in depth the subject today. When you want to say something, you have to think something more yourself. So that's the opportunity. I am not giving anything to anyone. I am getting benefit out of that. So this spiritual attitude should be there. That's why he said he should not go about giving discourses merely for gaining popularity. That's why Shankara says, Bhagvai Kuri, Shabda Jari, Shastra Vyakhanu Kaushanam, Tadvad Bhuktaye, Natu Muktaye. Big oratory quoting different texts, spiritual texts, Bhagavad Gita, Shabdachari, the flow of these words are like spring flowing, up and down, more modulation of the voice and this. These are for intellectual jugglery. There is a fun in talking something about God and feeling some satisfaction. Oh, I talked out, how I spoke. So that is the ego satisfaction. But that should not be. It should be for deepening our spiritual understanding. I understand, but I am trying to deepen. So that attitude should be the. Our many sadhus fall in this problem when they come and our senior sadhu says, now you have to talk. Then they said, what shall I say? And no, you will have to say because you are a monk. You will have to say something. Then he said, what shall I say? You will say what Thakur has said, repeat what Upanishad has said. You should not go and say, oh, today morning I have this vision, I have this experience, listen to me. God came in the form of Ma Durga and stand before me, gave this verdict. You will say like that. You will read the gospel, try to understand it, talk out loud, and try to be deep in their clarity of that point. So this is you are getting benefit by giving any such occasion given to us means it is so sannyasi should look at that. She should not give discourses for gaining popularity, nor should he initiate new ventures like starting monasteries and etc. Every organization. No, see, any big organization you go, after a few days staying there, they split from that organization and start another branch of it. I will not name, you can see around in this country, in India, hundreds of sects have come because of that. The Guru had 5 disciples, 5 branches, he extends 5 branches. 5 will be 25 because they have their disciples, they also start in different institutions. But this, at least this glory of this Ramakrishna order is that how much big you become, it is Ramakrishna is the goal. So that's why integrity is maintained. But those who want, they go out also. They prepare their own organization. Not that bad, but the question is that monastic ideal should be, it is not for your ego, but for the cosmic, total. In the case of the great ascetics who has attained tranquility and equality through spiritual realization, adheres to rules and insignia of an ashram, ceases to be a means for attaining any great end. He may stick to them or abandon them. So some monastic, as I said, we are Dasnami Sampradaya. We are Puri. This Ramakrishna order is Puri. Puri, Giri, Bharati, Saraswati, Nod, Bon, Parvat, like that different denomination. Shankaracharya divided the monastic tradition, monastics in 10 divisions. So we belong to Puri. Surname is Puri, Tota Puri. That's why Ramakrishna is Ramakrishna Puri. Ramakrishna's disciple Vivekananda Puri. We don't write that Puri, but actually traditional name, if you want to say what is your name, it's called this name and Puri. That means you know you belong to the Shankara's traditional those 10 divisions within that clan. It is not, you have not created your own cult. So it is, that's why it is called Puri Giri. You will hear some name it ending in Saraswati. Some name is Giri, Bharati, Bon, Parvat, like that. So you may carry those names, surnames, or may not. And you may carry the insignia of particular. Some people keep, the sannyasis also keep the Shiva's ashes mark like that. Even some sadhus, Vaishnava sadhu will mark like this, no? You may carry that insignia or you may not. Sannyasin, and better not. Ramakrishna did not carry any insignia. Even he didn't use the Gerua cloth. And that was because another aspect is there, his devotion for her mother. The mother will be pained to see his son, a monk. That's why he used the white cloth, not to uh, create any some subtle pain in the heart of mother. He may stick to them or abandon them. He may appear to others as one without any distinguishing insignia, but with his spiritual aura manifest. Eh? Not this external insignia by which you can be recognized. You are a Vaishnava sadhu, you are a Shaiva, or you are a Vedanta sadhu, no? But there are some insignia put into the body. Rather this spiritual aura, people feel in their presence, mood gets uplifted. They feel spiritually benefited. So that aura, he may appear to others as one without any distinguishing insignia, but with his spiritual aura manifest. That what is subtle spirituality, they can feel palpably. It is said that how do you know you have come to a holy man or a sannyasi, good sadhu? How do you understand? What? What is the sign of that? Huh? Ah, could you give any idea? So suppose you go to a sadhu, beautiful looking sadhu sitting in a gorgeous singhasana, big singhasana, big golden chai, what you call the throne, with foot raised over. But you go to our Belur sadhus, President Maharaj, how he is sitting. So the question is that it is not that. Jahare herile hriday spure Krishna naam tahare janiyo to be Vaishnava pradhan. You know, by watching him, by coming in close proximity with that person, in your heart, you will think of God. Your inspiration, you will feel the inspiration of calling upon God. That you know there is the sadhu there. Yeah? Sadhu is all in our heart. Some have manifested, some are going to manifest. So, who have manifested, that is called a sadhu. And by their proximity, going to them and being with them, going close to them, you'll feel that is a beautiful, you spend a good time. Maybe many people talk about, you may have some experiences of some of the sadhus you have met in your life, and you feel you may not do much meditation, you do not do much spiritual practice, but you feel very, very blessed, and you can feel the difference. You try your own meditation, you will not get that joy. When we are young, we didn't understand that the good sadhus, but they want to talk about something spiritual and also, but spiritual, till we used to think we should go and meditate, no? And then sadhu is there coming. Hey, Ray, if he catches me, then he will start talking about good things, but still it is a talk. Rather, I will go and meditate, no? That was a higher thing. And we used to avoid them. But really, afterwards we understood their presence itself lifts your mind. That is much valuable than that of your own meditation. Many of our sadhus have experienced as the brahmacharis and would-be monks in presence of some swamis, even by serving them, their mind was lifted, uplifted. And when they left, he has enough time for his own spiritual practice and meditation. But mind does not get so much uplifted. That's the power of the holy man. So the same that aura, or is a vibration. Simply vibration. People can feel. We feel all vibration we can feel. A bad vibration we can feel. If mind is sensitive, you can feel. To see some violent person, you maybe look good looking, but their presence will give you some feeling. So this holy person also will give some experience of some feeling of peace, contentment, joy, etc. So he may appear to others as one without a distinguishing insignia, but with his spiritual aura manifest. He will have wisdom. He will have wisdom, but look like a child. Ramakrishna. He has wisdom, but he is a childlike, simple. Huh? Or one intoxicated. He will be totally absorbed in God consciousness. No. He will be full of inspiration, but appear dumb. He full inspiration, but he does not speak much. So this is the genuine monastic who will lead in this life. Prahlada he continues and then says, in clarification of Paramahamsa ideal, there is the following old story in the form of a conversation between Prahlada and the ascetic Dattatreya, who followed the mode of life of a python. Python means python does not go for begging, no? Python, the snake stays in one place, food comes in his mouth. That's the python. So Prahlada said that the beloved of the Lord was once moving about in the land with some of his advisors in the valleys of the Western Ghat in order to have a first-hand knowledge of the affairs of the country. When he came across an ascetic on the bank of the Kaveri river, lying on the ground with his body covered with dust that hid his natural aura. So Prahlada story is relating a story that in his life, when he was moving about in the land with some of his advisors in the Western Ghat, and that on the bank of the Kaveri river, he found a holy man who was lying down in the ground, and his body is covered with the dust, so that his body aura is the one thing. Ramakrishna's aura, Holy Mother used to say, in certain time, his body was like golden color. And there is an amulet, golden amulet. You cannot separate out the aura of the gold color and the body color. That means there is sometimes that aura comes. Swami Birajananda, when he was Swami Birajananda in Belur Math, Baburam Maharaj that time was the manager of the Belur Math. And Birajananda Maharaj was the youngest brahmachari, at the same time very solid worker. Day and night he will work, but whole night he will meditate. And it's with such spiritual integrity he used to practice. So his body will be so much glowing with light, as it were. So Baburam Maharaj jokingly said, hey, Birajananda, don't go like that without covering your body with a shawl. Otherwise, the ladies will be attracted towards you. Saying that means a beautiful aura comes out of their body when you think very Sattvika thoughts. So he says that Baburam Maharaj, that story, recent story, and the earlier story, of course, there's Ramakrishna's body is like that. It is a spiritual aura, they call. So that he was got to let people not get attracted. Ramakrishna said, when that type of aura was in his body, uh, he said, prayed to Mother, oh Ma, please get in, don't come out like that. Don't get in, and get in, don't come out. That aura which comes out, the spiritual aura. So he was lying on the ground with his body covered with dust to hide his natural aura. None could recognize who he was from his action, appearance, or words. Nor did he bear the insignia of any Varna or ashram. That means he hiding himself from all, at least the people can disturb him. The great devotee Prahlada prostrated himself before him, touched his feet with his head, offered him worship, and entered into the conversation with him, inspired by his eagerness to know the truth. So Narada then understood. Narada is a ever free soul. He is the lover of uh, God, no? So he recognized that holy man and he saluted and asked for his instruction. He said, Sir, you, sir, have a heavy body, fat body, like a man, given to work and enjoyment, though you are neither of these. Only those who work will have money. Only men with money in hand can have enjoyments, and only those who enjoy the blessings of life have a fat body. You, who simply lie in a place without doing anything, cannot have any money, which alone can bring enjoyment for man. How is it that your body, without any object of enjoyment, has become so fat? That means how you are so happy. No thing of enjoyment is available, no good food is given, but your body is showing that aura. What happening? Where do you get it? If it is not improper, we want to know the truth about it. You are learned, capable, clever, endowed with astonishing powers of speech. You see all the world working hard, and yet you keep quiet, lying down in spite of your many capacities. So people learn a little bit, they want to show it to others. I know. eh? If I know I read one book, I'll refer to that book to 100 people to know that I read that book. No? But there, you don't express yourself, you don't depend on any enjoyment of outside. How you are so happy, how you are so peaceful, and how you become so contented within. Avadhuta's mode of life. Narada said, this thus questioned by the king of the Asuras, the great sage was very much pleased by his nectarine words, replied with a smile. Avadhut, he is the Navadhut, he said, O great Asura, Asura means he is born in the family of the Asura. Uh, O great Asura, you know all about this by your spiritual insight. Yeah, you are asking me, but you know already by your spiritual insight why it is happening. You are one who has the recognition of all good men. You know what are the respective consequences of following the path of desire and the path of renunciation. You know, Avadut is saying two paths, prayer and Shreya. One path leads to the worldly enjoyment, another path leads you to spiritual enjoyment. So you know these two paths. For in your heart, Narayana, the Lord of all inclusive, self conscious, dwells forever. So in your heart, you carry God. That's why your mind is pure. You know which path leads to God, which path leads to the world. And you are, your heart, Narayana lives, Lord of all inclusive self consciousness. He dwells forever in your heart, drawn by unswerving devotion and dispelling the darkness of ignorance like the sun. O honored one, still I shall answer your question from what I have learned from my teacher. But you are respected by all who care for their spiritual evolution. So you are asking me, Narada, Prahlada, I will tell you. Avadhuta said how I live and how I feel and how I am so happy. Desire, which remains unsatiated in spite of repeated experiences of highly exciting pleasures, entangled me in transmigratory cycles and took me to innumerable embodiments. He's saying that desire, if we fulfill the desire is in everyone's heart. So my heart, desire was there. Desires plural. So the desires which remains unsatiated, I have to work for that again. And in spite of repeated experiences, if I get once, mind will not be satisfied. It will ask for seconds, it shall ask for the third time. That's why you are in regard food. What happens? I like this food. And if someone gives me second time, I'm so happy. I want more. But again, third time, oh, it is good food. After so many days, I got this good food. That means desire is not ending. One fulfillment of desire leads to another desire. So, in spite of repeated experiences of highly exciting pleasure, not eating, highly pleasures of excitement, entangle me. What it did ultimately, transmigratory cycle of birth and death. Again, I am born, again desire come, again try to fulfill, again more desire, in the cycle of birth and death I was moving. After being driven to several embodiments, I was born again and again, so several times, diverse species of being my karma according to my karma. I was not in human, I was in another bodies also. After that, I have at last got this human body. This body I have got, and which can once again be the gateway to heavenly regions or to liberation. So it can take us this opportunity, which human body I got, it can lead us to the divine, the path of freedom, and or it can take me to liberation or to the status of a brute or to a human embodiment according as it is made use of. So this life is spacious. It can lead me to God, to eternity, to freedom, or to bondage and suffering in how I utilize this body. It now starts the how to leave the body. So that Avadhut, that sadhu, who was hiding himself, he will tell us what was his experience. He said that I have tried to fulfill my my expectations through fulfillment of desires, but it gave rise to birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. And after understanding so much, I got this human birth, but this human birth can be utilized to reach God, or it can take us to the demonic character, to the brutal body. So now he will be saying how he withdrew from the life and remain in his own spiritual path and make him the great ascetic. Okay, verse number 24, we end here. 25, we'll read the next day. 7:13:24. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Okay, so we'll meet again at 7:30 for Upanishad class. Sheta.